Hello, how y'all doing today? Y'all doing good? Yes. I had another vision. Every time I introduce myself and say I have a vision, because some people they have visions and it don't come so regularly, so they be like, "Oh, I had a vision," but my visions is like all day, every day, non-stop. All day, every day, non-stop. So I had this vision Saturday, which is a Saturday Sabbath. Today is Sunday. I wrote it down. I'm gonna do something different. This particular vision right here, I'm going to take the time and put it into a narrative type form. So what I'm telling you all today, I'm gonna put it in the form of a narrative and see how that works because of the distractions. And I think it's gonna be another distraction because it seems like it's a gathering next door. So I'm gonna see how this video go and see if some music or something gonna come on, something like that. But I'm just gonna do a narrative to see how that work and see if that'll help with the distractions of some of these visions. But y'all doing good. Yeah, I had a vision Saturday Sabbath. And I told you all in the previous video that whenever I see anything on a Saturday, extremely significant. That's why I always be like Saturday Sabbath. And my visions are extremely significant on Saturday as opposed to any other time. It's like God talked to me directly on Saturdays. Like I have other visions here and there, but like Saturdays, yeah. So So it's like very, 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 very like on the spectrum. It's on the 10. If I have a vision on Saturday, it's on the 10. No matter what I see. So this was a Saturday Sabbath vision that I had. Yeah. So I'm just gonna get into this. I did, text it to my daughter. So as soon as I had this particular vision, I texted it to my daughter. So I'm gonna get into this. Basically, I had texted and told her that I dreamed that we had a new house. We actually lived extremely close to a relative, and I'm not gonna say the relative, but I texted her and told her who this relative was. So I was telling her that, I dreamed we was like in this big house, this huge house. We had a brand new house, and we was living close to this relative. In the vision, she moved and relocated to our subdivision. In the vision, I asked my daughter if anyone was coming over. I was just like, is you doing anything later? You got something going on? And so when I asked it to my daughter said someone is coming over later. She was saying, she gonna have company later at the house. So when she said that, I explained. So when she said that, I replied and said, God said we are not allowed to have company. I explained that he said when other people come over, they invite their demons too, and we cannot open our home to strangers. When I said that, I saw like two guys, like two white guys was in the house. I don't know what they were doing, like if they was there for something different, like maybe some strange, cause I didn't know them. So after I said that, I know it was like two guys in the house. And then it say they may have been invited for something, and although it wasn't obvious at first, I noticed that it was two rainbows attached to them while they was in my house. I said, I don't know if the demons on the people were revealed through my eyes while they were in my house, but I saw a rainbow on each guy. So basically, in this vision, I'm asking my daughter like casual conversation, like, hey, you got something going on? She like, yeah, I might have company later. And when she said that, it was just like, I was like, God said we can't have no company at our house. Like, can't nobody come to our house, like no strangers. Because see, at the beginning of the video, we had a close relative, and she was like in the house. This particular person was in the house. So, it was just something, I guess it was the symbolism of the relative as opposed to the stranger. But as soon as she said somebody was coming over to the house, I said, God said we can't have no company. He said, can't no strangers come in this house. And he even explained it in the vision why they can't come over. He said, basically, when you let other people in your house, he said, you invite their demons into your home too. And he just simply said, we cannot have strangers in our house. So then in the vision, after I see the two guys, and then I noticed that each guy had like a rainbow on them, like a rainbow symbol somewhere on them. Then I went to eat a dish, and it seemed like it was company again. Like, it seemed like it was just like company, like I had company over. And they had all this food. But again, this was maybe people from my past. So the dream jumped. I'm still in the same vision. I'm still in the same house. So it go from, me seeing like this close relative of mine look like they relocated to our subdivision, to me talking to my daughter about, do she got something going on? And she like, yeah, I got company coming over later. Then it jumped to like 2 guys in the house. And I don't know what they were doing, but it was 2 guys in the house. And now it seems like some people from my past is in this same house. And I said, then I went to eat a dish. It seemed like it was company again, but this was maybe people from my past. They had bought so much food. It was so much good food, like seafood and shrimp, very nicely put together and appealing to the eyes. It seemed like my kids were asleep, so I didn't want to disturb their sleep by inviting them to eat, so I let them sleep. So it's like, it's people from my past at the house. It's just so much food. Like, we got so much food catered to the house. Like, they catered the food to the house. And then, like my kids and stuff, I want to wake them up to eat. Like, ooh, y'all want to eat something? But then it look like they so peaceful in they sleep. I don't even want to disturb them while they sleep, so I'm just letting them sleep. And then I noticed that they had some food that looked like some fufu, like the African food with the bread that you dip, that you dip with your hands. I never ate fufu in real life, so I was curious to taste it. And I said the shrimp dishes were familiar to me, but the fufu wasn't. In the vision, I went to eat the fufu because I never had it, and I was dipping the bread trying to soak the juice up. Then I woke up. So y'all, that's the vision. So basically, that's the vision. So in the vision, we got a brand new house. Like, we got this huge house. We got the relative who actually moved very close to us in this subdivision. So while we in this subdivision, I get a warning from God. And in the middle of me talking to my daughter, she like, yeah, we're going to have company later. I get a warning from God. And he said, you cannot have company. You are not allowed to have company in your house. You are not allowed to have people come to your house. You are not allowed to have visitors. He said, because when you let people into your house, their demons are also invited to come into your house. So that's what God was telling me. And then as soon as he told me that, I seen 2 guys that was in the house, and they had like a rainbow symbol on them. And then at that point, I saw people from my past, and it looked like they was catering. And they had just all this food that was appealing to the eye. And it was like seafood. And y'all know how we is with seafood. If you ain't got no allergic reaction, y'all know how it is with seafood now. You can't go wrong with seafood. And then, but I noticed it was this African dish. And that fufu that you dip the bread and just eat with your hands. Like, that's what I noticed. And I was like, ooh, fufu. Which I never had, but I was curious to see how it tasted. So that's what was going on in the dream. So I'm just telling y'all what I told my daughter. Dealing with this vision that I just had. I said, in the vision, it is important for us to be distant. And for us not to know and for people not to know our relationship. Like this person who was a relative that had moved close by. It was like, it was good for people not to know the relationship that we had. And I'm speaking on our relative moving close by. It was good to be close to family because it was added protection if nobody knew our relationship. I was stressing not to reveal the relationship of this relative that relocated to our subdivision because it was extra protection with this person watching out for us and us watching out for her. So basically in this vision, this is just what I'm texting my daughter after the vision. And I was just telling her that this relative, as long as nobody knew we was related, it was cool. It was like an extra form of protection with them not knowing. So I was just stressing that in the vision. Like, don't nobody need to know we even related. But this person ended up moving into our subdivision. I was like, oh, this like extra eyes to kind of watch the house, kind of see what's going on. Like, that's how it was in the vision. So it was a good thing. So also I said, I don't know, from that dream, I said, I don't know, but from that dream, God is saying we are not allowed to have company and also eat the delicacies of others. It was very strict instructions in this vision. Be careful with who who we let in our homes and the food that we eat. He is saying we will be protected until we open our doors to strangers. That the protection over our home won't be there anymore if we let strangers in. He said the demons of other people would come into our home just by inviting people over. And then I said, and then this is what I texted too. I said, we got to be close to moving because God is speaking on rules of our new house now. So basically, I was just telling her that God saying it's a form of protection over us, over our house and everything. But as soon as we open our home to strangers, that protection is going to be removed from us. But as long as we abide by his one rule, which is no company, we good. He said we can't have no company. He already laying it out now. And you know, and we in the process of trying to move and stuff like that. So I guess he already like laying the foundation out, and I already see ourselves in a big house. Like I see us in a huge house. And he already telling us now what can go on, what can't go on. So I told my daughter, I said, shoot, God must finna do something. We must finna get ready to move or something. The way he coming talking about what we can and can't do, and then I see myself in this house, I said, God got some stuff going on behind the scenes. That's what I said. I said, we got to be in the process of closing on the house or something. I said, because God coming, he laying his rules out for this new house we got. So that's what I'm telling my daughter. And then also I said, fish is also bad in my dream. I saw a lot of seafood like shrimp on the menu, but the African dish that people eat with the fufu do have fish in it. In this vision, I don't know if I actually tried it or not, but I was getting ready to eat it because I was dipping my fufu bread in the juice. So basically, in any dream I see, fish means it's the worst thing I ever want to see. Like, I don't care what it is. Ain't no animal came close to me seeing a fish. If I see a fish, it's just the worst thing ever. It's the worst thing ever. So in this dream, even with the delicacies of this African food that I was about to eat, I know that they put fish in this food. Like, I know they put fish in this food. And the vision for me to eat fish is the worst thing that could possibly happen to me. It's me eating fish. And sometimes in my vision, it be like hidden some kind of way. Well, I'm like, dog, was that some fish? You know, like, I be waking up trying to, like, see if it was seafood or actually fish. Because if it's fish, it's bad. So, in the vision with this African delicacy, I noticed that, you know, it's fish in this food. Like, it's not good. Like, it's not good. And it was like people from my past was like, you know, at the house. And they all just trying to get me to eat something. Like, ooh, just like trying to be nice. Like, they were being extra nice. Like, all this food everywhere. Like extra nice. And God said, you cannot have no company. Like, God is stressing, you cannot have no company. So, I say that to say. So, that's the vision, that's the revelation I gave my daughter and stuff like that. So, there you go, y'all. It's this prophet that I do listen to. I think his name, Tommy. I don't want to get his name wrong. But I think it's Arrow. Yeah, I really don't want to get it wrong. I've been in America all my life. I've been in the United States all my life, but English is a foreign language to me. So if the words don't come out right and it has a different meaning, you know, this is not my foreign tongue. Y'all gonna be looking like, what are you talking about? You've been in Memphis and all you know is English. English is not my foreign tongue. It is not my foreign tongue. I feel like Moses. When God told Moses to speak before the people, and got Moses like, but God, I stutter. Like, how I'm supposed to speak to the people and I got a speech impediment. Like, that's how I feel, really, with English. So his name is Prophet Dude. His name is Tommy Raya, Raymi, like, you know, and I ain't trying to get it wrong. Like, I'm really trying to think off the top of my head to how to even spell it, to even say it. So he spoke on this. He spoke on this same vision that I just had. And he was talking about Babylon. And he was speaking on Hezekiah letting Babylon into his home and the curse that came behind it. So along with what I got together, I'm going to read this Isaiah. It's coming out of Isaiah 39, 1 through 6. And I'm going to paraphrase like 8, verse 8. But this Isaiah 39, and it's pertaining to my vision about I cannot have no strangers in my house. So Isaiah 39, verse 1. He said, the king of Babylon sent letters and presents to Hezekiah, for he had heard that he had been sick and was recovered. 2, verse 2. Hezekiah was glad of them and showed them the house of his precious things, the silver and the gold and the spices and the precious ornaments and all the house of his armor and all that was found in his treasures. There was nothing in his house or in his dominion that Hezekiah showed them not. 3. Then came Isaiah the prophet unto King Hezekiah and said unto him, what said these men, and from whence came they unto you? And Hezekiah said, they are come from a far country unto me, even unto Babylon. 4. Then said he, what have they seen in thine house? And Hezekiah answered, all that is in my house they have seen. There is nothing among thy treasures that I have not showed them. 5. Then said Isaiah to Hezekiah, hear the words of the Lord of hosts. 6. Behold, the days come, that all that is in thine house and all that which thy father hath laid up in store until this day shall be carried to Babylon. Nothing shall be left, said the Lord. And then that's just 1 through 6, and then 8. After God got through punishing him, behind that, Hezekiah said to God in verse 8, and I'm paraphrasing, he was like, well, I'm at peace. He like, I'm glad that this is coming after I die, basically. Like, he basically was just like, well, this is a good thing that, you cursing me, but the curse is for my generations after me and not me. That's what he told God. After God said everything you got gonna be taken away, Hezekiah just looking like, well, shoot, it's cool as long as you don't take it while I'm alive. I don't care about my ancestors and my generation behind me and what they got going on. Just as long as, I can still enjoy the fruits and be comfortable, it's cool. That was his reply behind it. So basically, God saying I cannot have no strangers. He already laying out the foundation. Ain't nobody coming to my house when I move. Nobody is coming over to my house. I ain't letting no demon to my house. Nobody is welcoming to my house when I move. Period. Ain't nobody coming to my house. So that's the first thing. And I'm going to be as firm as I need to be. Because, like, when you got, like, people that just, like, trying to be super nice and just, like, trying to just, like, kind of create this atmosphere. And that's what Babylon did. The king of Babylon did with Hezekiah. Like, he knew he was sick and he recovered. And he saw that as an opportunity to gain his trust. And so he sent presents, sent gifts to him. Like, ooh, like he acting like he's concerned about his safety. But actually, and Hezekiah, he just fell into the trap. And he showed them everything in his house. He said nothing was off limits. So you can just imagine what all might have been disclosed. Yeah. So at that point, that's when Isaiah had to punish and send his word and his wrath from God to Hezekiah behind doing it. So basically, in so many words, I'm just saying, do not let Babylon in y'all house. Do not let Babylon in y'all house. Babylon is not welcome in my house, and Babylon shouldn't be welcome in y'all house either. So basically, that's what I'm getting out of that. And I'm just going to keep it short and sweet with it. But, because I'm trying to see what else is coming to me. So, also, I just was writing, I was just saying that, when Hezekiah told Isaiah that they were from afar, it reminded me of the delicacies of eating the foreign food from the foreign lands, the African fufu. And I'm on a strict diet, so it's stuff I can't even eat. So, and even when I go out and it's like foreign, I have to, like, if I don't know exactly what's in the soup or how they made it, I can't even eat it. Because I'm on a very strict diet with God, on top of everything I got going on. So, with that fufu and that little paste juice stuff that they got mixed up, I know for a fact they got fish in it. But they have a whole lot of stuff, and it just be mashed up into this like sauce, and you just dip the bread into it. And with me being on the strict diet, you know, and if I can't like see what it is that they put in that food that I'm eating, I can't, you know, I'm on a very strict diet, so I can't even like touch it. But the way the way it was just like, oh, I'm just like, ooh, this African food. You know, that's how it was in the dream. And I'm on a strict diet. I can't even eat that. I can't even eat a lot of stuff. I'm talking about now. My diet's so strict. It's a lot of stuff I can't do. You know, I was talking to my daughter. And when I was talking to my daughter, you know, because God be talking to her, and I'm like, look, and you looking for that righteous person. And I ain't even trying to say it like that. I'm like, but if you looking for somebody to like mimic, because you see all this wrong out here, I said, look at your mama. I said, because I'm grown. And it's a lot of stuff I cannot do. I'm grown. They had 5 kids. They grown. And still, being your mama, the stipulations of God, it's a lot of stuff I can't do. You know, so I'm like, when you trying to find that right person that just live right, look at your mama. All you got to do is look at your mama, because it's so strict. Even down to the food, it's so strict. What I can do and what I can't do. Now, he might put more as I grow and elevate. He probably put more restrictions on me, because the higher you elevate, the more restrictions you're going to have. And the more you're going to have to lose more of the flesh to be with him. But, yeah, it comes with a cost. Like, everybody say, you know, they want to do this, they want to do that, but they don't want to put the sacrifice into it. So, I'm on a very strict, it's extremely strict walking with God, that narrow walk. Because he going to tell you what other people do, you can't do. Other people do, you can't even do it. So I told my daughter, I said, I'm grown, and I'm in my house like a big kid, because it's stuff I can't even do. It's stuff I can't even watch. It's stuff I can't even eat in my house, being grown, because God, my Father, will not approve, even with me being in my house. That's what I told my daughter. And she was like, yeah. So I'm like, if God telling you to cut some stuff out, because he's going to make you strip yourself of the flesh as you elevate with him, and it's going to be a sacrifice. I said, just look at your mama, because I didn't have to sacrifice and cut out a lot of the flesh in the physical to walk and move and see in the spirit. Yeah. So that's all I got to say. It was just basically like Babylon. Like, you can't even give it a foot in the door. Like, you can't even, like, you get the devil a foot in the door, he coming into your whole house to tear the whole house down. Like, you can't even like none of that. So I'm like cutthroat, y'all. When I move, ain't nobody come to my house, period. And I'm firm about that, because the way God kind to me, and this vision was a warning to me. Like, he kind of me personally. Like, when you move, when I give you this house, you cannot have nobody in your house. Like, you can't have no company in your house when I give you this house that I'm finna give you. Like, that's how he came in the vision. And that's his only rule. Like, no company. Like, that's his only rule. He like, I'm finna bless you. You finna get you a house, but you can't have no company at your house. And you know what? Cool. So I'm trying to let the family, I'm trying to let my daughter know. So I'm texting her the vision, like, look, in this vision, you trying to have company. I said, God said we can't have no company. So when I get this vision to my daughter, y'all, you know, because it's just random, she texted me. She said, Mama, I just had a vision. She said it was dealing with the same thing. She said, but in the vision, it was one of my sisters. And she had moved into this huge house. She said it was huge. And she said in the vision, all these celebrities, all these well-known celebrities were trying to come into her house. And she said she wouldn't let nobody in her house. She said she said they was trying to be nice. They was like famous. Everybody just trying to like gravitate to them, you know. So you think like, ooh, this person, because they status, they can come to my house. She said she would not. My daughter said in her vision, she said my sister, who bought a huge house, would not let none of these people into her home. So she kind of knew. She kind of was like, nah, Mama, you know, I'm having the same vision, so something going on. So I feel like God telling me so I can put the pressure on her. Look, you is not going to be able to have no company at this house. You is not going to be able to have no company at this house. Like, period. So God getting on me so I can get on her. Because he finna give us what he finna give us. But it's only one stipulation, one rule, y'all. That's all God want from me. One rule, no company. And if that's all you want for me to be blessed and get what you want me to have, okay, you know, it's done. Look, bet. Okay, bet. Now my daughter, trying to persuade her, because we got foreign protection, and I ain't trying that protection that we got on us and on our home. I don't want her to, you know, just inviting somebody over, just being nice. Because these people, even with Hezekiah, his enemy, God's enemy, was nice to him. And when he was nice to him, he showed him and exposed him to everything that associated with God at that point. Like, he showed the enemy all of the weaknesses and strengths of his kingdom that he had. And behind that, Isaiah, the prophet, had to deliver the message to punish Hezekiah behind it. And everybody don't need to know what you got going on in your home. And I'm speaking for me, because this is a personal warning for me, but I know it might be somebody else. And if you're letting people into your home and you're just so welcoming all these parties and stuff, you're letting them demons in your house too. You letting them demons in your house too, and they might come and might not leave. They might kind with your friend or with whoever you let in the house, but they probably coming to stay. They probably ain't trying to leave when that person that you invited over leave. So now you gonna have a house full of chaos behind it. So y'all, I'm finna let y'all go. I am gonna redo this video, and I'm gonna do it in a narrative type form and see how that go. But it's gonna be the same video. And I'm just trying to get everything together with it and take my time with it. And y'all enjoy y'all day. Yeah, I just like the I like the connection. Like, I don't like to work behind the scenes and you just see images and there's no connection. Like, I like the connection. Like, you talk to me, I need to look you in your eyes. Because just me looking you in your eyes, I got discernment. So I need to talk to you face to face. Forget all this behind the scenes, these electronics, like anybody. I need to talk to you face to face. I need you in my presence when I see you. And that's just the type of person I always been. So I am going to do this video just to help, just to see how it go. Because it be so much distraction on the outside. And it's going to be in a narrative, and it's going to talk about this, and it's going to break this down way more. But a lot of people, y'all just letting people in y'all house, in y'all homes, and y'all letting these demons in y'all house, in y'all homes, and you trying to figure out where all these issues and problems coming from. You can't let everybody in your house. I don't care. You just can't let people in your house. Even people you think you can trust, you just can't let people in your house like that. Like, you just can't do that. Like, that's a no. That's like a rule from God. Like, now, like, the Holy Spirit will have to direct you in certain situations to be like, okay, this person, you know, probably in need. Let me let them, like, but if it ain't the Holy Spirit and you ain't got no discernment, just be safe and be like, no. Just be safe and protect you and your property and what you got going on. Just keep that protection around you just by saying no, y'all. So yeah, I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Enjoy y'all day. I am gonna redo this video. I'm just trying to get the word out, because it was a Sabbath vision that I had, and it was a personal warning for me. And I'm trying to get this instilled in my daughter's head, because that's how it was in the vision. I'm like, God said we can't have no company. And look, I'm grown with kids, but I'm still like a big kid to God. So I'm looking at God like I'm like a big spoiled child. When it comes to God, I act like a big spoiled child. And I'm like, in the vision, I'm like, we can't have no company. God said we can't have no company. That's how I was in this vision, y'all. But I'm like a big kid for real when it comes to God. I be like, God, Satan ain't playing fair right now. Like, he is not playing fair, God. Like, you know, this right here, just go back. Just play it back, God. You gonna see. You gonna see this right here ain't cool, it ain't fair. Like, that's how it be. When Satan be trying to attack me and stuff. Yeah, that's how it be, though. But y'all enjoy y'all day.